What follows is a celestial phenomenon that is attracting attention worldwide. It concerns ongoing sightings of luminous, star-like phenomenon, too large and bright to be confused with a known celestial body, while exhibiting changes in size, location, color, and magnitude, as well as duration. These attributes rule out the possibility of near-Earth objects, asteroids, comets, and supernovas as potential sources. Beginning in January 2009, sightings have been reported from Norway, Costa Rica, the United States, Ukraine, Japan, scores of countries to date. There are many newspaper and TV reports.
UFO sightings may be the stuff of films and TV shows, but they keep turning up.
De volta às noites de domingo e objeto voador não identificado chamou a atenção de moradores do conjunto universitário.
Cuando hay una luz muy grande, muy resplandeciente, que no es normal verla en el cielo.
And YouTube reflects hundreds of videos capturing the event. Sightings to date don't correlate with sky maps, so are unknown to science. Celestial phenomena such as these are unprecedented, and yet, with consistent reporting over these many months, an explanation remains elusive. Another element of this story makes it equally compelling. Many witnesses report that they deeply question the meaning and purpose of what they have seen and are amazed by the sheer beauty of the spectacle. Yet, there is one man who believes he knows the true meaning of this star, and in fact, predicted its appearance in December of 2008. Benjamin Creme, British author, editor, and artist. Beyond the science and even the spectacle, his perspective on this phenomenon makes the most compelling aspect of all.
4 great star-like luminaries of gigantic power. They are not stars, but they look like stars. You can also see an interesting sequence of photographs of the star from all over the world, and it changes shape. It becomes to look more like a spacecraft than a star, and then back to a star, and so on. It depends how deeply you zoom into it, and you will find people who don't even know what they're looking at say, "What is this? I've never seen anything like it. It's gigantic, it's changing colour, look, look, look. It's extraordinary. Is that fire coming out of it? Look at it. It's moving, it's disappearing." And these stars are the herald of Maitreya.
According to British author Benjamin Creme, Maitreya, a teacher of extraordinary stature, is here in the world to inspire us to make the fundamental changes that will usher in an unprecedented golden age of brotherhood and justice.
So it was the evening, I was in my front room, I was sitting on my couch, feet up, watching a bit of telly, and just generally chilling out really. And as I was sitting there, this strange feeling washed over me. And it's a feeling that I've experienced before. So I didn't really pay it all that much attention at first. And basically the feeling was like someone else had just entered the room with me. It's a bizarre feeling, and it's kind of hard to put into words, but it's almost like the vibrational frequency of the room shifted, and I felt displaced, and my body felt strange, and I started hearing this very high-pitched humming all around the room. Again, like I said, it's something I've experienced before, so I didn't really think all that much of it at first. I just took it all in and was absorbing it and thinking, you know, this is strange, but nothing really to write home about. The minutes went on and the feeling began to intensify, and eventually this voice appeared within my mind, and it was so clear and vivid, and it took me off guard at first because I was like, whoa, what was that? And it says to me, "Look to your right, Reese. Look to your right." And I'm thinking, oh my God, what's going on here? And at first I just think to myself, ignore it. So I just carried on watching the television and just blocked it out really. But then about half a minute later the voice returned. Again, so clear and vivid. It was almost like the voice was there in the room with me, and it said again, "Look to your right, Reese. Look to your right." So when the voice returned for the second time, I intuitively knew I had to listen to it this time, and I had to man up, and however uncertain I was feeling, I had to be brave and look to my right. Eventually I kind of centered myself, got myself together and thought, okay, here we go, I'm going to look to the right. And as I look to my right, my heart goes up into my mouth, because there is just this ball of light hovering at my doorway. And I'm just absolutely overwhelmed at this point. And my heart is racing now just thinking about it. It was just so emotional, because as I looked at the light, I had this strange sense of recognition. And I almost wanted to say out loud, "Oh, it's you. I recognise you. I know you." It was a strange feeling, but that was my gut reaction as soon as I saw it. And as I continued to look at the light, with my jaw on the floor, the voice returned to me. And this time it said, "We're glad you're not afraid." And I remember at that point just this overwhelming feeling of unconditional love flooding over me. And I felt this real affinity with the light. And I just remember thinking, no, I'm not afraid, I'm exhilarated, I'm blown away that something of this magnitude is happening to me, right here, right now. And it was just absolutely amazing. And by that point the uncertainty had faded away, and I felt very safe with what was happening. And as I continued to observe the light, I started noticing that it was so much more than just a light. It's hard to explain, but it was almost like it was fluctuating. Its general shape was a ball, but every now and again it would deform into like a cloud of mist. Then it would re-merge into the ball. It was constantly moving. It was never stationary. So I suppose it was more like mist than light. But it was almost like through the mist shone a light. Very hard to explain. And it had a lot of different colours going on. It was silvery, it was white, it was gold, it was all these different things all at once. And it's really hard to put this into words. It's almost ineffable, because explaining this kind of stuff is totally foreign to us. You know, we don't usually explain this kind of stuff in our day-to-day lives. So we don't even have the words to explain it properly. So as I continued to look at it, I noticed that it was starting to get closer to me. Very, very slowly though. It was barely noticeable. And I still didn't feel threatened in any sort of way. I still felt very calm and collected. And then as the seconds ticked by and it got closer and closer, it suddenly darted towards me and whooshed into me. And this was just an absolutely incredible feeling, and again, one I can't really put into words. But what I remember happening as it entered me, I remember taking a massive deep breath, like, I suppose it was such an overwhelmingly intense feeling that was just my natural reaction.
That our solar system is made up of 12 members. And this is stated in the Sumerian text over and over and over again, not one time. And they say there is the sun, which is in the center, not like the Greeks or others thought that the earth is in the center of the sun. There's the moon, which they gave reasons why they considered it a member by its own, and 10, not 9, but 10 planets. Therefore, I'm very happy that when today astronomers look for this planet, they call it Planet X. They mean maybe the unknown planet, but it's also the 10th planet. They called it Nibiru, which means planet of the crossing, and the ancient symbol was the cross, not from Christian times, but from 6,000 years ago. And they say that this planet, the 12th member of our solar system, has a very large orbit of 3,600 years, and every 3,600 years it comes between Mars and Jupiter close to us. And it is then, they said, that people that look like us, not with little horns or green, people that look like us. Why do they look like us? We look like them. Because if you know the Bible, which is based on the Sumerian tales, at some point they engaged in genetic engineering and mixed their genes with the genes of Homo erectus. We can use various scientific terms, but let's say with early hominids, to bring about Homo sapiens, us.